Hello, welcome to this update for Australia and Oceania. So let's see what's happening. You might be already feeling it there by the showers, spots of New South Wales, and more cloud cover, and the rest is kind of fine. But we will have this subtropical storm, like an extratropical cyclone, later this week that will bring a lot of rain, especially to New South Wales, southern Queensland, but especially New South Wales. There'll be some very heavy rain, and because of this low pressure forming from the Tasman Sea, and shows still Monday, like it must be already Monday there, shows more rain spots in New South Wales. This the European model shows this heavy rain there Monday, Tuesday, and it just continues there as this low pressure starts forming. So this goes Wednesday, Thursday, still shows a lot of rain, and Lord Howe Island as well. So Friday still shows, and probably by next Friday, the 23rd, shows some more bursts of heavy rain through New South Wales. That low pressure gets more defined there. So Friday, Saturday, and then this goes towards New Zealand later. And now in New Zealand, we also have some snow and some rain, especially the rain was heavier in New Zealand across Sunday, the 18th. It's almost Monday there now, so Sunday it was heavier. But there's the GFS as well, shows alright this rain across New South Wales and those areas, some heavier storms central New South Wales, especially near the coast in those areas until like Wednesday, Thursday. The GFS goes kind of to Queensland as well, but most of it will be New South Wales. So there's the icon too, shows alright some rain there, more throughout today, Monday and Tuesday, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, shows more. Both the GFS and the icon have the worst further north, the Europeans kind of further south. But Friday shows there, but the icon eventually comes back south on Saturday, the 24th, and goes away. So we really have to watch this system for flooding and heavy rain, because just until Tuesday already shows some spots across New South Wales close to 84 millimeters, right on the coast shows even to 98, some spots Nelson Bay, not areas, Newcastle to 76, just in the next 1 day and 7 hours. So be careful and show some inland areas close to 100 millimeters already next day or so. So please be careful. But if I put it until Friday, look at this. Already shows more than 200 millimeters across New South Wales, even like right on the coast, 311 millimeters spots of New South Wales. Around Newcastle, more than 200, shows in Sydney, some 79, close to 100 further south. If I put until next Monday, shows like slightly more, but doesn't change much. But please be careful in those areas, especially with flooding. And there's the GFS. It shows also this area more than 100 meters. It has more than 200 in some areas near Tae and Kempsey, not areas, but it does have as far north as Gold Coast to 96 millimeters. Brisbane's a little bit, and Sydney. There's the icon. It also has like right this central area of New South Wales, more than 200, 224, even to like 233. So please be careful. Coffs Harbour, so 126, and does have more than 30 in Sydney as well. And depends on how this develops, because the worst is now forecast to be like central to northern New South Wales, but if it shifts further south, this might be worse for Sydney as well. But now the worst is forecast further north between Coffs Harbour and Sydney. So please be careful in those areas, especially some of these areas close to 300 millimeters might get nasty. There's the access as well until Friday. The access has two bunches, one further south and one further north. It does have like some 66 millimeters in Sydney, might get higher, and it has like southern New South Wales to Tasmania, not Tasmania, Victoria, Samoa, especially northern Victoria, and does have more than 200 millimeter spots of southern New South Wales. It has this gap, good for Sydney, but just north of it, it has around 400 millimeters near Seal Rocks and Foster. So this is maybe too much, but the access tends to be accurate most times. So take this seriously. It might not be this much, but better take this seriously just in case. So it shows like more than 300 further inland as well, more spots of 368 millimeters spots there. Coffs Harbour more than 165. It even has like 202 in Lord Howe Island. So please be careful. The European just 51, the Icon 22, and the GFS 21 in Lord Howe Island. But there might be some heavy rains there too. So please be careful, especially if the access is correct, more than 400 millimeters. So please stay safe. Let's see the short range access here to see if it shows anything. This is a high resolution model, so it shows very precise. Sometimes it exaggerates, and most times it's 100% more accurate than those other models. So I would trust this if I were you. So only the next 30 hours or so shows already 195 millimeters, like 210, 211 near Foster, Tae. This area around Foster, Tae, Seal Rocks might be the hardest hit. So please stay safe. Sydney doesn't show much the next day or so. Coffs Harbour a little bit, but especially this area right here already shows to 200 millimeters, not 200, like 195 the next day or so, but even like 200, as we can see here now in those higher areas. So please stay safe in those areas, especially like the 5-day total, more than 200 millimeters. And if the high resolution models are correct, it might be even more than 400, like the Excel showed throughout the 5-day period. So please stay safe. There's the possibility for severe flooding with this in some areas there. So here there's like the access for the rain itself. So already shows some heavy rain there. This goes throughout the coast, especially Tuesday shows some very big bursts of heavy rain. Wednesday, like maybe a big day, Wednesday and Thursday. So Thursday, this starts going further south towards southern New South Wales, maybe Victoria. Does show this peak like low pressure Friday across Tasmania, Victoria, and maybe later into New Zealand. But please stay safe. There's the European too, shows Thursday, Friday. Doesn't show much in Tasmania, but the access did have some there. So please stay safe those areas. Here's the Canadian model until Thursday. This other model, it does show those blacks across the New South Wales coast and just inland. Like everything white is above 100 millimeters. So if you are in the white, above 100, but does show those blacks, even kind of yellow. Black is more than 150, so it does show more than 200 millimeters spots in New South Wales too. So this might be a very dangerous event in those areas. Please stay safe. And in terms of wind, because rain's not the only thing, shows here spots of New South Wales. Already some stronger winds offshore, but Sunday, Monday shows a few spots inland, slightly stronger. Monday, especially Lord Howe Island, stronger gusts. Let's just put this in kilometer power. So slightly stronger there. Tuesday, then this gets a little bit less strong, but Friday again, this low pressure gets more defined, might get stronger. Does show Saturday into Sunday more like New South Wales into Victoria in the mountains possibly, because there will be these two big features, this giant extratropical cyclone and this other one. So a lot of wind there in the ocean, so stay safe. The waves and everything, But watching for next week, like this week is starting now, but the other week, the European array has more than 100 km per gust across Tasmania and Victoria into New South Wales. So better watch this next feature as well across South Australia, Sunday into Tuesday the 27th and beyond. So now focus on this in New South Wales because that flooding might be very dangerous. But before that, better watch this next feature as well. The GFS like barely has anything. It has like 17 km per gust, while the European has 95. So it's a huge difference. But let's just watch to be safe. So be careful, especially like shows near Newcastle now, some higher gusts, some spots there. The access has even stronger, like the high resolution one spots, interior spots today already and into tomorrow near the coast. So be careful those areas and stay safe. In other portions of Australia, the tropics have already lifted up north. The intertropical convergence zone, just a light shower too in Queensland. But then this goes Papua New Guinea, still relentless tropical downpours. But that show Northern Territory like a small strip of rain Friday, but barely nothing. South Australia, like southwestern Australia, watching for cold fronts. Maybe Thursday the 22nd in Perth, a thing or two. And then later still watching the other week there. But since the GFS and the Euro are not so agreeing, better wait a little bit to see the other week. But this thing Thursday, the GFS is also showing in southwestern Australia rain Thursday, and the icon as well. So be aware, a small cold front. In terms of accumulation, does show like until Friday shows some rain there, some 13 millimeters around Perth, more spots there, but nothing too crazy. But this thing right here should be taken very seriously. So please be careful across New South Wales. Further north, a shower or two in northern Queensland and this area in Northern Territory, but Papua New Guinea not as heavy as a month ago, but still very heavy, like some 102 millimeters, spots to 89 millimeters, 66, so still heavy in some areas. So be careful, and it might be more than this because there are no high resolution models to show the real thing there. But in Indonesia, heavier, central, southern Indonesia, especially central Indonesia, so be careful, and around Palau, Micronesia. Still in the Samoa Islands, more than 50 millimeters, even to 45, some spots less, around 30, but still some showers there. Vanuatu is a little bit less, especially further south less, but more further north. New Caledonia still shows around 66 possibly. The GFS has some too, not that much. The icon has some around New Caledonia, so be careful. Shows more around Fiji, some 29 millimeters, Central Fiji just 15, so nothing that crazy, but just those light showers there. So yeah, and there's like further into Tuvalu and Samoa still shows like 69 in Matautu, more in Samoa, still like 64. So still some thunderstorms there, some showers. In Tuvalu shows those tropical-ish showers as well. Nothing too crazy, but does show some sometimes slightly heavier storms. And Kiribati is kind of heavier to the south and to the north. Central areas are quieter, but it's not that heavy. They're just like some passing tropical showers, nothing too crazy. So be aware, those areas does show Marshall Islands, the intertropical convergence zone, slightly heavier, especially central areas, those passing thunderstorms, but nothing too crazy. The GFS is similar thing, but the GFS is kind of sneaky around Samoa. It does have to 91 millimeters in American Samoa, so the GFS has that. The icon is also interesting. It's like 111 millimeters in American Samoa. Samay is 7 to 111, so the Europeans is the only calm guy there. The other ones are showing some heavy rain, so be aware just in case. There are spots of French Polynesia, some lighter showers, like Adams Town a little bit more, but just some cold fronts, nothing crazy. In Papeete, some 6 millimeters and more in some westernmost areas. Some in the Cook Islands, but nothing too crazy. Show like those extratropical cyclones in the Southern Ocean further south, but just a few thunderstorms and some showers around western French Polynesia, Mataura especially, and just some light showers in the Central Atolls. But this goal shows Saturday, the 24th, maybe more around the Cook Islands, and does show some systems later, but nothing too crazy. New Zealand, it's kind of snowy now in the mountains. Sunday, Monday shows quieter there until Wednesday shows some very quiet times, but does show some showers Thursday in the south. And after this big thing comes off Australia, we might get more on the 25th, the 26th, even another bunch on the 27th across southern New Zealand, more snow. But there's the GFS, it agrees on the 25th one and the 26th, but after that is still slightly uncertain. So be careful in those areas. Winds does show like, especially in the ocean further south, sometimes slightly breezier in those tropical waters, and be careful some small craft if it's breezier, but this goes shows spots of New Zealand is quite calmer, but Tuesday it might get very bumpy in Waitani, so be careful, some strong winds there. This goes and like shows around Thursday, Friday, stronger winds close to Waitani, and New Zealand still kind of calm. This thing is coming off Australia Friday, shows some big time winds Sunday, 1 week from now, on the 25th, shows spots of South Island even to 124 km per gust. GFS just 21, so GFS is in another world. Monday, this goes, and then still shows on the 26th some high gusts there in New Zealand. The GFS shows a spot or two, but it's very weak with that. Still shows Tuesday the 27th spots of central New Zealand, and now the GFS is here. It's a little bit later, around Tuesday, so be aware. And then the European still has this big thing layer. So be careful, those areas does show Thursday this cold front, southwestern Australia, slightly gustier in a few spots, but nothing that crazy. So be careful, still cold like southern New Zealand and Australia, spots of Tasmania, Victoria especially, some -2 in the mountains already like now because it's the middle of the night there, shows spots of New South Wales too and Tasmania, so be aware. And the rest is mild to kind of cold, yeah, especially in the south. The north is tropicalish, so this goes Monday, does increase slightly during the day, so 9 degrees, 8. In the north, still some warm, nice temperatures. This goes Monday, there in the south, show like Tuesday morning, this is not around Tuesday for them, so some -3s. Again, those areas, some 1 degree, spots of Tasmania still some 0 degrees. This might change still, but does show slightly milder Tuesday afternoon, close to 13, 11. In the north warmer, and still shows Wednesday slightly colder than Tasmania, Victoria. Thursday still remains those negative temperatures during the night, the highest peaks, and after that the European has this big system that might cool down more, but we'll keep watching. So the GFS is similar thing, some 0, -1. There's the access to, I don't know if it has temperatures, but I don't think so because it's not working here. The internet is too slow here, but the shows the system, I think, some -2, those areas, like this morning, some -1, Sunday, Mondays, the access has a greater extent of cold. Tuesday morning, so some -3, most of Victoria, another spots there. So be careful, those areas. And here, like, let's see if they have anything for frost or anything. So I'll just search here those areas. So does show like here, so where they have interesting things. So rainfall, there's storm, snow, fog, and those things. So does show this frost in the pink. It's already possible. So they already have Monday morning today. Some fog, some frost possible in the south. So this links in the description if you want some thunderstorms in the coast of New South Wales. So this is Monday morning. It's during the afternoon, nothing crazy, and then it shows like uh, around Tuesday to Wednesday during the night, some frost again, even to South Australia. So be aware, some fog and frost those colder nights. And here I just updated the Canadian model until Friday, and it shows didn't change much, but shows even more to 200 millimeters in those areas. So stay safe. Please be careful. There's New Zealand now. It's also cold. Shows those spots to -4, even -6, because those mountains are higher than Australia. So Sunday this goes show like even during the day on Monday some -3, some -5, but especially closer to nighttime because during the afternoon it's a little bit milder. And then this goes around Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, some -2 again. Those areas in the north close to 0 degrees. And later Thursday morning does show some -1, some -2 in some areas. Some frost is possible too, just like Australia, so be careful this goes. After Friday, still cold, but to a smaller extent, but still cold in some areas. Some afternoons to 16, 17 degrees, to 18 in the north, slightly milder, but slightly colder some nights. So be aware, those areas, there's like snow, although it's kind of snowing now on the model, the accumulation itself doesn't show much, shows 1 centimeter, 3 centimeters in a few spots. The GFS a little bit more in those northern mountains. The icon like 0.3, and the axis does have some those central mountains, some 4 centimeters, a little bit further south, but nothing that crazy. In the long range, the Europeans absolutely crazy, like 120 centimeters in 12 days, but that's too far. Let's not get crazy. But there's like just 5 days in Tasmania shows 0.9, and the European has more the week after that. But we'll keep watching just to compare the GFS here. In 12 days, it does have some in New Zealand and some in Tasmania, but the European is even as far north as New South Wales by that time. But that's too far. So stay safe in those areas and warn others. If you know people there, tell them this rain will be very dangerous in those areas. So please stay safe. Be careful.